Hi, this is Pritika Rao and Maniza ji. Welcome back on my channel. Our first interview of Narendra Modi's horoscope was a big hit, not only on my channel, but your channel too. And now I'm here again, back with you to discuss a brilliant horoscope, and that is of Shri Ram. And I know a lot of people will be raising their eyebrows and wondering, how do we decipher Shri Ram's horoscope? Where are the evidences? So that's going to be my first question to you. Where are the traces and evidences of Shri Ram's horoscope?
Thank you for having me over, Pritika. It's a privilege and honor once again to join you on your show. Today is truly an auspicious day. We are discussing the Lord's horoscope. What I'm going to share with you today and our audience, I owe this to my Jyotish Guru, K.N. Rao ji, for he has taught me in detail what I'm going to discuss with you today in terms of the planetary alignments and combinations of Shri Ram's horoscope. As you said, where is it that we are finding the references to this chart? In two places, Valmiki Ramayan and Tulsi Ramcharitmanas. Remember, Valmiki ji, Rishi Valmiki, is a contemporary of Shri Ram, because it is in his ashram that Ma Sita takes refuge when she leaves Lord Ram's palace. Because of what the washerman says, and I will come back to it because there's a reference of that particular episode and the curse related to it in Padma Purana. I will come back to that. But before that, the references. Since Valmiki, Rishi Valmiki is a contemporary of Lord Ram, and it is in his ashram that the children, Luv Kush, are born. So let's first see what we get from Valmiki Ramayan as the date and time for Lord Ram. I'll quote.
Tato yagye samapte tu ritunam shat samatyayu tatascha dvadashe mase chaitre navamike titho nakshatre aditi daivatye swoch sansteshu panchasu Graheshu karkate lagne vakyatavinduna saha prodhyamane jagannatham sarvaloka namaskritam kausalya janye dramam divya lakshana sayutam.
Let me now explain the shloka to you. Here, it is very clear in the shloka that this is a Karka Lagna horoscope with 5 planets either exalted or Swarashi, Sarvocha, Swa and Ucha. So 5 planets. Moon in Punarvasu Nakshatra with Brihaspati in Karka. Navmi Tithi, Chaitra Shukla Paksh, Abhijit Muhurta, and the 5 planets that we talk of. Saturn exalted in the 4th house in Libra for a Cancer Lagna horoscope. Mars exalted in the 7th house in Capricorn. Venus exalted in the 9th house with Sun. Rahu and Ketu in the 6-12 axis. Rahu in Sagittarius in the 6th house. Ketu in Gemini in the 12th house. And the 12th Lord, Mercury, in the 10th house. This is the reference that we get from Valmiki Ramayan. Let's come to the reference that we get in Tulsi Ramcharitmanas. Navmi Tithi Madhumas Punita Shukla Paksha Abhijit Hari Prita Madhya Divas Ati Sitana Dhama Pavana Kal Lok Vishrama. This is what we get in Tulsi Ramcharitmanas. Again, Madhya Divas, Abhijit Muhurta, Navmi Tithi, and the month of Chaitra. So let's look at this Karka Lagna horoscope. And I would again quote my Jyotish Guru. We have not received this horoscope as the facts from anybody. These are the 2 references that we have. The only reference in degree that we have is of Moon in Punarvasu Nakshatra, and we know 3 degree 20 minutes of Cancer has Punarvasu Nakshatra. At 3 degree 20 minutes of Karka, Punarvasu Nakshatra is over. So we know that moon is in its first Navamsha. That's the only point that you have, because you have a moon Punarvasu Nakshatra, and Punarvasu Nakshatra is in Cancer, 3 degrees 20 minutes. And it's over. That's the only span that you get. There are a couple of controversies with what there are these 2 references and there are 3 controversies. One of Rahu, where a lot of people say that Rahu cannot be in Sagittarius, that it could ideally, the Rahu-Ketu axis could be in 3-9, not 6-12. The second controversy is that Mercury cannot be in the 10th, it should be in the 9th. And the last is the placement of the sun. And I will answer them here. The placement of the sun, out of reverence we say, because we are talking about Shri Ram, about the Raghukul, about the Ikshvaku kings, the Suryavanshis, and we say that sun therefore should be exalted. I am taking this reference, and as my Jyotish Guru K.N. Rao ji has taken, and he was told this by his Jyotish Guru Yogi Bhaskaranand, who told him that there is no way that sun can be exalted in Aries. Sun has to be in Pisces. And I will give you a technical point here. Why should it be in Pisces? Like I have just discussed, it's a Cancer Lagna horoscope with Sun and Venus in Pisces. Venus exalted in the 9th house with Sun, the second lord, with Venus. Remember that the birth is on Navami Tithi. And both the books, Valmiki Ramayan and Tulsi Ram Charit, both are saying that Lord Ram's birth is on Navami Tithi, Chaitra Shukla Navami. After Amavasya, when the sun and moon are conjunct, on Amavasya, remember, sun and moon are conjunct in one Rashi at one particular degree. One Tithi means 12 degrees of difference between the sun and the moon. And as we go till the 8th Tithi, so 12 into 8 is 96 degrees, which means at any given point in time, Navami Tithi will start when there is 96 degrees of difference between the moon and the sun. If moon is in 3 degrees 20 minutes Cancer, then even if sun is at 1 degree Aries, the difference is not 96 degrees. So therefore, for the moon and the sun to be at a distance of 96 degrees, sun has to move down and come to Pisces. Because remember, Gemini, Taurus, Aries, 30 degrees of each sign, 90 degrees arc. 3 degrees 20 minutes of Punarvasu Nakshatra, 93 degrees 20 minutes. So therefore, sun has to be in Pisces for the distance between the sun and the moon to be 96 degrees, because that is when Navami Tithi starts. Navami Tithi will be on from 96 degrees to 108 degrees of distance between the sun and the moon. This is how precise our Panchang is. When we say that this day, this particular Tithi, we don't look at 24 hours. In 24 hours, the sun and the moon might move 13 degrees or 10 degrees. We are very precise. Our system is very precise. The Vedic system is extremely precise. 12 degrees. And we say one Tithi. Okay? So that is why I have given you technical reference as to why I'm saying sun is in Meena. Sun is also in Meena because of another point. Remember, in the Adi Grantha, and Valmiki Ramayan starts in flashback like a lot of films do. It starts with Luv Kush, singing this beautifully in the streets of Ayodhya. They're talking about the Ikshvaku and the Raghukul Vansha, and talking about Lord Ram and talking about his father and narrating the glory of the great kings. In this narration, they also refer to, and Valmiki Ramayan talks about it. In this narration, they also refer to that Ayodhya has majestic mansions. Fourth Lord Venus exalted in the 9th house with Sun. The Raj Lakshana Yoga, Jupiter from Kark aspecting this combination of Venus and Sun. Remember, Jupiter aspecting Sun is an absolute Raj Lakshana Yoga. And here we are not talking about the majestic mansions of Lord Ram. We are talking about the majestic mansions of before Lord Ram. So the father's house, the ninth. So therefore, there is a point of sun coming again in the ninth house and receiving this ninth aspect of Jupiter. Now the other controversy, which is Rahu. Why are we taking Rahu in the sixth in Sagittarius? We always look at Lord Ram with a Dhanush, and we always refer to him as Kodand Ram. Kodand, the Rashi of Sagittarius, with the bow and arrow, Rahu. And Ketu, beautifully lined up in the house of Moksha, the 12th house. Kodand Ram. And then I'll come to the third controversy, Mercury. A lot of people say, and a lot of astrologers say, that Mercury should be in the ninth house. Why should it not be in the ninth house? Remember, for a Karka Lagna horoscope, Mercury is the third lord and Mercury is also the 12th lord. Lord Rama had illustrious brothers, Shatrughna, Bharat, Lakshmana, the avatar of Sheshnag, Lakshmana. The third lord has to be in the 10th house. The third lord, if it is in Pisces, it is debilitated. Mercury cannot be debilitated as the third lord. That's one point. Mercury is the 12th lord. Mercury from the 12th house looks at the 7th lord Saturn. The wife is taken away from him once, and the second time she leaves the palace. So there is Virah twice. As the 12th lord Mercury aspects the 4th house, and Lord Ram has to go into Banvas. In modern days, this thing, we would say it's a foreign trip. So he took a foreign trip from Chitrakoot to Sri Lanka, and you can see the 12th lord aspecting the 4th house. So Mercury has to be in the 10th. And also the illustrious brothers. The third lord in the 10th, the younger brothers in the 10th will always give you illustrious brothers. So those are the references along with the three controversies that are very common, which I have tried to address in the best possible way.
How can we see Rama's stepmother in his horoscope?
Remember, in those times, even though we know it is because of what Kekai says to King Dashrath, but Lord Ram is supposed to be her favorite. Remember the Chuda money that Sita ji gives to Lord Hanuman, and that comes in Ramcharitmanas when Lord Hanuman goes to Lanka to meet Sita ji and takes the ring of Lord Ram. She gives him as a nishani the Chuda money. The Chuda money was gifted to her by Queen Kekai. So it's not that, it was always bad. So to look at why this curse of the mother, or what was it that caused him to leave the house, let's look at the 4th house with a malefic, Saturn. Let's look at Bhavat Bhavam. Let's look at 4th from 4th, Mars. So it cannot be negated that both the Kendras, the 4th and the 7th, have exalted malefics. They have their pluses, they have their minuses. But both these Kendras, 4th and the 7th, 7th is 4th from 4th as Bhavat Bhavam. With exalted Saturn and exalted Mars, there had to be some problem or some, troubles that would come from the mother. And also that it would involve leaving his place and moving away. Malefics in the 4th and the 7th, ghar ke sukh mein kami karte hain. And in today's day and age, if you look at the horoscopes like that, that's how we interpret. And here also, as I said, Mercury as the 12th lord is looking at the 4th. So it's a long foreign trip from Chitrakoot to Lanka. And that too defines Queen Kekai here. But remember, he had the love of Ma Kaushalya and Ma Sumitra as well. That cannot be defined, that cannot be denied. Let's remember that Jupiter, an exalted Jupiter, is also aspecting the 7th house, which is 4th from 4th, and exalted Jupiter is also aspecting the 4th Lord Venus in the 9th house with Sun. Let's not forget that. But yes, this chart definitely shows troubles to the father. And I will share one very interesting incident here. Valmiki Ramayan, as I said, is an Adi Kavya. It talks about a very evolved civilization of ancient India. And this is the Treta Yuga that we are talking of. We must understand that in various aspects, various points of Valmiki Ramayan, there are very detailed references made to meteors, comets, Lakshan, Shakur, Vastu, astrology. So many combinations are given in Valmiki Ramayan pertaining to Jyotish that one will be surprised that, there is such a, like an absolute repertoire of knowledge. And I will share one example also with you. Most of the stuff that is mentioned in Valmiki Ramayan, and some of it has been lost to us. We don't know what those muhurtas are that are mentioned in Valmiki Ramayan. So clearly, Valmiki Ramayan takes into account the psychosomatic depths of human personality in great detail, because it looks at dreams, at omens. It's absolutely interesting. And why am I saying this when I'm talking about King Dashrath? Bharat has a dream, and it is mentioned in Valmiki Ramayan. He says that he can see he once had a dream. He says that I can see, and he narrates that dream, that he could see King Dashrath raking himself up in oil, laughing, and being pulled in the southern direction. The southern direction is the direction of Yama. He is being pulled in the southern direction on a chariot which is being led by asses, Khachar. This is mentioned in Valmiki Ramayan. And so, Bharat says that I know that this is an ill omen, and I know that my father now is the time for him to go. Remember also that as the 9th Lord Jupiter is the 9th Lord for Karka Lagna. It is in Lagna with Lagna Lord Moon. This 9th Lord has the aspect of two malefics, Saturn and Mars. It is showing troubles to the father, without a doubt.
Every Kark Lagna, just like Shri Ram, is blessed with, a consort or a support or a guide like Hanuman ji. So, can that also be seen in Shri Ram's horoscope?
See, I agree with you about Lord Hanuman, but to say that every Karka Lagna person will have it might not be possible. I'll tell you why. In Lord Ram's horoscope, Karka has Moon and Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter is the 9th Lord. And here, look at the beauty of this horoscope. Who is the 5th Lord? Mars. Who is the 9th Lord? Jupiter. And who is the Lagna Lord? Moon. All three are in connection. The Trikonas are in connection. The 9th Lord is with the Lagna Lord Moon. The 5th Lord is exalted in the 7th house, having the aspect of both Lagna Lord and the 9th Lord, Jupiter. So the combination of Lagna, 5th and 9th, your disciples, your Shishyas, and your devotees will come from the 5th, 9th connection. Because of this exaltation of Jupiter, Mars, and the connection of the three Trikonas. Lagna is also a Kendra, it is also a Trikona. Because of the connection of the three, only Lord Ram could have had Lord Hanuman. Not every Karka Lagna person can have that, because then you need the connection of the Trikonas, and that can happen in another Lagna as well, to have a great devotee. Like Ramakrishna Paramhans had Swami Vivekanand, but that's not a Karka Lagna horoscope.
So separation from wife, there are astrologers who say that Kark Lagna charts have this curse of separation from the spouse. I don't know if you would agree with that, but how does separation from wife pan out in Shri Ram's horoscope?
let's also give credit to why astrologers say this. Why do astrologers say that for Karka Lagna, there could be a separation from the wife? Because the 7th lord and the 8th lord is one, that is Saturn. For Karka Lagna, 7th house is Capricorn and the 8th house is Aquarius. The lordship for both the 7th and the 8th is given to Saturn. And therefore, as a general principle, we say, oh, there could be a problem. But in this particular case, yes, of course, there's Mars as the 5th lord in the 7th house. But remember, the separation is coming from the 12th lord, Mercury, aspecting the 7th lord, Saturn. And this separation has not come once, it comes twice. Once by kidnapping, and once because of the curse of the washerman. And I will share here a very interesting bit on the kidnapping. Jatayu is the last person, and I refer to Jatayu as person. Why? Because he has knowledge of astrology, and this is how I'm going to refer to it now. This is what Valmiki Ramayan tells us. Jatayu is the last entity, person, who has seen Ravana take Ma Sita. When he's dying and he has his wings cut, and Lord Ram and Lakshman reach Jatayu, what does Jatayu say? Jatayu says that he tried to save Ma Sita, he tried his best. And now he's at the fag end of his life force. But he tells Lord Ram one very interesting point. He says, Ma Sita has been taken in the Binda Muhurta by Ravan. We have lost what Binda Muhurta is. But this is what Valmiki Ramayan says. And this is what Jatayu says to Lord Ram. King Ravan has taken Sita ji in Binda Muhurta. Any loss in Binda Muhurta is not permanent. It's reversed back. She will come back. You will get her. This is what Jatayu says. And you will find this in Valmiki Ramayan.
So there is no Ramayan without Ravan, and he was his arch rival. How is this rival seen in Shri Ram's horoscope?
Remember, Shatru is the 6th house, the 6th lord. But the adversary is the 7th lord, the 7th house. Let's not forget that the 7th house has an exalted Mars. And that's how you see the adversary. And I will share a very interesting point. A lot of people from today's day and age, they say, how can someone have 10 heads? And what do you mean by that? Well, King Ravan's brother tells Shri Ram that if the Amrit Kalash is in his Nabhi, is in Ravan's Nabhi, you have to hit there and he will die. So we are clearly saying, and remember that Lanka is of gold. So the combinations that come, this is a man who definitely has Siddhi up till the Manipur Chakra. Because it is only then, because the Matrikas on the Manipur Chakra, the related Matrikas, point to be noted, I am not getting into the related Matrikas, and this is, the audience might not have a primer to understand what are Matrikas here, but the related Matrikas of Manipur Chakra are 10 in number. The 10 heads are signifying a Siddhi of the Manipur Chakra. That's what the 10 heads mean. Now people can think, why this, why? There are many meanings to this. Only a man of a Siddha, whose Shakti is Siddha, whether Kundalini is Urdhva Mukhi, can use the Brahmastra. It is actually the Shakti of inherent in the microcosm, drawing a parallel with the macrocosm. The Shakti that is inherent in the spine of an individual. The Meru Danda individually will draw a parallel with the Meru Danda cosmically. That is the Shakti of the Brahmastra, which is unparalleled. So, some points need to be explained. This is a very evolved point, and that is how yogis reach certain siddhis, and they were common in that time and age. So the 10 heads are signifying a siddhi of the Manipur Chakra. Yes, I thought I'd share that very interesting point here.
So Maniza ji, we've heard about Jal Samadhi context of Shri Ram. Did Shri Ram actually take Jal Samadhi?
Yes, in fact, in Ayodhya, and I go there often, Guptar Ghat is the place where Shri Ram had taken Jal Samadhi, the beautiful temple there. Now, how do we see that from the horoscope? And here, I will also again take reference to the controversy where people say that sun should be in the 10th house, which is in Aries. The Maraka sthans are 2nd and the 7th house. The 7th is also for spouse, the 2nd is also for kutumba. But these are also the Marak sthanas. And the Markesh, the lordships of these two houses are referred to as Markesh. Why Jal Samadhi and why not something else? Why is it not showing a violent death? For example, if you look at the horoscope of Lord Krishna, and we are not discussing that horoscope here, we see a different set of troubles. In Lord Krishna's horoscope, which is showing his going away by an arrow. In this, it is Samadhi, Swechha. The second lord for a Kark Lagna horoscope is Sun. If the Sun was in the 10th house, then it would be receiving the 4th aspect of exalted Mars from the 7th house. And this would mean a violent death. I don't want to scare the audiences because now people will start looking there at their second houses and say, will I have this or that? So remember, sometimes it does not completely manifest as violence. It also manifests as kutumb ka sukh na milna. Niyam is also seen from the second house. Here the second lord is in the 9th house in the Rashi, which is a watery Rashi in Pisces, receiving the aspect of the 9th lord. That is a hint to Swechha se Jal Samadhi lena. However, remember that since we do not have the degrees of the planets, I cannot cast a Navamsha or a Dashamsha or a Vimshamsha for this horoscope, including a Dreshkon and a Dwadashamsh, which should be looked at in detail. So, with the meager means that I have of no degrees, this is what I can tell you on Jal Samadhi. I have also given you a reference on violent deaths. You have those examples. I've taken and told you that in Lord Krishna's horoscope, we have this maleficence happening, which is not there in Lord Rama's horoscope. So therefore, the sun definitely has to be in the 9th house as well. Again, I'm making that point. Yes.
Also, the whole controversy about why did Rama listen to the Dhobi and, make Sita undergo the Agni Pariksha. I wanted to ask you about this aspect of his horoscope too.
See, a lot of people who might not have the knowledge about why this happened might question and find this, and say this is patriarchal. In Padma Purana, there is a reference to this, and I will quote it from Padma Purana here. When Devi Sita is a little girl, she's playing in her father's house, in her father's palace, and she hears these parrots talking about her and saying, when she grows up, when this girl grows up, she will marry the prince of Ayodhya, the most handsome man. Ma Sita hears this. She tells the people guarding the palace to get hold of these parrots. The male parrot prays and, really says that, please let us be free. Hum swatantra the, hame swatantra rehne do. She says, let the prophecy come true what you have said, that I will marry the prince of Ayodhya. Till then, you be with me and I will take care of you. You will get the correct food, everything, just be in a cage. They implore her, don't tie us down. She doesn't listen. Then she puts them in a cage. After some time, they again implore her. By this time, the female parrot is pregnant. They implore her, let us be free. She now says that I will take care of the female parrot, and she lets off the male parrot fly off. The male parrot flying off says that, like you've made me desert my spouse, my wife, you will also be deserted by your husband. The female parrot delivers babies and dies in childbirth and says, when you deliver children, your husband will not be with you. This is mentioned as the curse in the Padma Purana. And the male parrot says that I will be born in Ayodhya and I will make sure that your husband deserts you. That is the curse of the parrots. And here we believe that, so this is how destinies are intertwined and karma manifests. The effect, the boomerang takes sometimes a very large time frame. But Kal is insurmountable, is invincible.
So was the parrot reborn as the dhobi to take a revenge?
Yes. The parrot is born as the dhobi, and this is mentioned in Padma Purana. That is why I tell a lot of people, when you have to go to someone's anniversary, you have to go for a house warming, you have to go for someone's birthday, carry a copy of the Puranas of our ancient literature. And here I will mention another point. In Valmiki Ramayan, it says in the month of Bhadrapad, you could start the study of the Sama Veda.
I think it's a pity that we, in India, we, applaud literature works of different countries, but a legend like Ramayan is not even gifted or read. We should be proud of our legendary literature works, but we want to ape the West and applaud them and, not our own literature.
This is the irony of Kali Yuga, that though we believe that, we are highly intellectual, but wisdom is what ceases to really sprout but then this is the effect of Kali Yuga. That what is
right,
colossal and immense and wise and another league, you will discard that. But that's the effect of Kali Yuga. I would also refer here to the Bhandarkar Institute at Pune. I've heard this from, again, my Jyotish Guruji. He said the kind of scholars and the kind of work that they do is immense. In fact, he said that, in the 70s, he had at one point in time spoken to the Ministry of Human Affairs and had wanted that somebody should come out with an expurgated copy of Brihad Parashar Hora Shastra, the astrological, compendium. And that could be done by the Bhandarkar Institute at Pune because of some phenomenal work that those guys do. But then we don't even know the names of these places, that such scholars exist, the kind of work that they do, we don't know. I wish they are appreciated. And there would be many scholars across many places who've done some phenomenal work, but we don't get to appreciate them. We're reading, some superficial work sometimes.
Exactly. Also, let's, I want you to throw some light on Agni Pariksha and the whole aspect of Agni Pariksha in Shri Ram's chart.
Let me explain it. Remember, here we are dealing with very high order individuals, very high order souls. A Brahmastra is being used. Lord Ram tells the Samudra, if you don't part your way and give me way, because I have to go to Lanka, I will use the Brahmastra to split you into two. Here, remember that this is the Ikshvaku, the Raghukul Vanshis, the Surya Vanshis, okay? From the realm of the Agni Chakra, Shakti, that is Sita ji, from the realm of the Agni Chakra. I hope I'm able to, get through to the audience here. It's slightly esoteric here. From the realm of the Agni Chakra, Shakti is taken downwards to the Moola Chakra. Again, to unite with the chit, with her spouse, with the chit, because this is Shakti and Purusha. Okay? Again, to come back from Mool to the Agni Chakra, she has to do the Bhedan of the Agni Chakra. There is a metaphorical point of the Agni Pariksha. And if you see in the map of India, Lanka is again, at the fag end. So here it's just a reference that we are saying actually Shakti is taken from the Agni to the Moola Chakra. Again, she has to rise, come back. So there is combustion at the Agni Chakra again. So therefore, that is a reference of her uniting with Shri Ram again at the Agni Chakra. And I will quote this here. In the Valmiki Purana, there are two very important prayers that Ma Sita makes. Once when Lord Ram says that now that you have come from, Lanka, go through the Agni. And that is what it means. She has to unite again with her Purusha, with Lord Ram again at the Agni Chakra. She prays, Mother Agni, if I am pious and pure, if I am chaste, if I have not thought of anyone other than my husband, don't burn me. And the Agni doesn't burn her and she goes through. Chastity is Agni Chakra. Satya is Agni Chakra. I said it in a lot of my videos. I explained this. When she eventually comes back, and I've explained Agni Pariksha, but I'm adding one point here. When she again comes back and, Lord Ram has, met his sons and she comes back. And now the prayer is slightly different. She says, Mother Earth, if I am pious and pure, if I am chaste, then take me within your folds. And the earth is split. And Mother Earth comes up sitting on her throne and takes Ma Sita. Remember, she is Janaki. And it is said, if you read the old literature, they say she was found when the land was being tilled, she was found. She's the daughter of the Prithvi. She says, Ma, take me into your folds, if I am pious and chaste. And the earth splits and Mother Earth comes up and takes Mother Sita back into the folds of the Prithvi Tattva. Here the Agni Pariksha is her coming back to Rama on the Agni Tattva. I'll also add one more interesting point here. When she's taken away by Mother Earth, then Lord Ram, who becomes very angry, he again takes out his bow and arrow and says that if you don't return, Mother, if you don't return my wife back to me, then I will split you into two and there will be no planet Earth. Lord Brahma comes at that point in time and he says, जीवन की जो लीला है अब ये पूर्ण हुई, अब आपके जाने का समय है, ये लीला पूर्ण होती है.
So are there any other astrological references about Ramayan and Shri Ram's horoscope?
Actually, there are many. Valmiki Ramayan is full of astrological references. The omens and even Vastu. It says that when Lord Hanuman goes into Lanka, he says it's absolutely, there are no defects in the Vastu of that place. It's brimming with prosperity. But Valmiki Ramayan also refers to the dream of Trijata, where she says that I am seeing that, you're going to, that Lanka is, everybody in Lanka is getting destroyed other than Vibhishan. This is a dream that Trijata has. But I'll share something very interesting. There is a demon called Kabandha who's, killed by Lord Ram and Lakshman, and who is eventually, he is relieved from his curse. When they cremate him, and he says, like you, Ram, who is suffering from a bad dasha right now, if you connect with someone who is also going through a bad dasha, then you will get relief through that person. And that person, Ram, where Vyakti Sugriv hai. So this is Kabandha, who eventually, gets free of his curse. He's a Gandharva. And he says this to Lord Ram. And here you understand, again, and there's a reference to the Dashas. Vishakha. Vishakha is a nakshatra ruled by Jupiter. And constantly Lord Ram says, the constellation of the Ikshvaku kings, Vishakha, is glimmering. We will definitely have victory over Ravan. And when he goes into Banvas, he says, Mars, Jupiter and Mercury are retrograde with moon, and the constellation of the Ikshvakus, Vishakha, is clouded. And this is the time which is going to be difficult for me. And when he's winning, he says the constellation of the Rakshasas, Mula, meteors and comets are troubling it. It's a definite defeat for them. So these are some interesting points that you get on astrological references. When Ravan takes Sita, they say it's like Mercury who is seized Rohini from the skies. So even a lot of references are given to planets and planets and people. And Jatayu refers to the Binda Muhurt. Lord Ram refers to Vijay Muhurt when he tells Sugriv, we must march from Kishkinda, we must march to Lanka now because this is the Vijay Muhurt.
So tell us something about Aditya Hriday Stotram and the special mentions of Ramayan in it.
In Valmiki Ramayan, it comes that when Indrajit is killed, then Ravan gets into a rage and says, now I will kill Ma Sita. His minister tells him, don't do this. Today is Krishna Chaturdashi. Tomorrow is Amavasya. Go and fight Ram because Amavasya is good for the demons and it will be good for you because you will be victorious tomorrow. That is the reason why it is difficult for Lord Ram to kill Ravan. It takes him a lot of effort. And then Vibhishan also, of course, I've mentioned that there is the Amrit Kalasha in the Nabi. And at that point in time, when he is absolutely, it says, trained in war, there is an Updesha of the Aditya Hriday Stotram. If you read the Aditya Hriday Stotram, you will read that it says in Hindi, if you don't understand Sanskrit, or in English, the translation, and says, read it with Ekagra devotion thrice and you will be able to slay the demon on this Amavasya. So here's a very important point on how even on an Amavasya, when the demons or the Asuri Shakti is powerful, recitation of Aditya Hriday Stotram is powerful enough to slay all negativity.
Wow. And any reference of Guru Gobind Singh with Lord Ram?
This is very interesting. In these days, we don't get to hear this because of a lot of, because certain people don't want to talk about it. But Guru Gobind Singh in Bichitra Natak, in his book called Bichitra Natak, refers to the fact that Mathura was taken over by Kush and Luv took over the part which is currently Lahore. Bichitra Natak mentions this. The works of Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Guru of the Sikhs. And I don't think Sikhs and Hindus are any different because in my own family, the eldest son was made into a Sikh. I'm talking a few generations back. So when the first son was made into a warrior. So Guru Gobind Singh in his work says that we are the descendants of Lord Ram. You and me are not saying this. Guru Gobind Singh is saying this. We Kshatriyas are the descendants of Lord Ram. In fact, he even explains who from Luv and who from Kush. That is why, if you recall, the Khalsa said that the Ayodhya Ram Mandir is also our place of worship because you get the reference in the works of Guru Gobind Singh. One of them is Bichitra Natak. And I will close this with, there is a very good book, a very small, short, people can read it, called Asa Di Var. Guru Nanak in it talks about Atma Vasudevasya. And there are very many accounts of Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam in Asa Di Var. There are references to Lord Dattatreya in Guru Granth Sahib. It is for people to read and to find out. That's all I can say.
Wow. Thank you, Maniza ji, for such beautiful insights into Shri Ram's horoscope and also Ramayan in general. This was such a beautiful conversation with you. Whenever we chant Vishnu Sahasranam, there's a beautiful verse which says, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane, which means that even if you say one word of Shri Ram, it's equivalent to reciting the entire Vishnu Sahasranam. So I would like to end this session by saying Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Thank you.